Welcome to Legislative Support Services Legislative Search Tutorial. My name is Laura Monroe, and I'm the manager of the Legislative Information Center. You will use the drop-down arrow next to Bills, Meetings, and Session, and then click on Bills. Once you're on the Bills page, you can scroll down back to those advanced ways to search for bills and hit Document Search. This is a fantastic search tool if you know how to use it, and it can be kind of confusing if you don't. What you can't do is just type in a question. This will not get you anything. If you type in a question and you search, it'll tell you it doesn't even have all the information to know what to look for. So first, we're going to erase our question because we're not asking a question. We're looking for keywords and we are searching documents based on those keywords. So the first thing we're going to want to do is tell it what documents we're looking for. If you're looking for bills, there's a whole list here, all bills and resolutions. You can just look for amendments, just look for bills or bill reports. Once you choose what you're looking for, you can also choose RCWs, RCW dispositions, legislative ethics, the Constitution, and WACs. As you can see up here, you can search for many things at once. You can also search for these legislative documents in addition to other documents. So you can search them all at once. Right now, we're just going to look at our search criteria. So you can't put in questions, but you do put in keywords in this little search term box, and we have a little cheat code, this little I information here. If you pop it up, it'll tell you how to search, and we are going to walk through that today. So say you are looking for bills that say land or water. You're going to tell it what documents, and then you are going to type in water and land. And when you hit search, this will bring you to the bills that have both the words water and land. And it brings you to the current biennium. You can also choose different biennia. You can search multiple biennia. So this is water and land. If you wanted bills that said water or land, all you would need to do is type in the or and hit search. You can see we just went from about 500 responses to about 1,400 responses. Maybe you are looking for bills that say water, but you don't want it to say land. In that case, you'll put in the criteria that you do want, water, and you'll put in a minus and then put in the word you don't want. So we want it to show us bills that have the word water, but that don't have the word land. So now when we hit search, we can see that went back down to about 456 bills that have water, the word water in the bill, but do not have the word land in the bill. We also have, when we go into these search terms, we have wildcards, and that is going to be a character that fills in. So in this case, we are going to, you just copy and paste their example. So F question mark, REM question mark N. When we hit search, it's going to give us one bill, and it could be fireman, it could be fireman, it could be foreman, foremen, any word that can be made by filling in those question marks with a character. Let's see what this bill is about. Once you're in your results, if you come up here and you click next term, it will take you to where that term is, and this one is foreman. If you continue to click next term, it will tell you there are no more search hits. So we had one place in this bill that the word showed up. You can go back to the list from here, and that is the single wild character. There is also a way to fill in more than one character. So if you are looking for multiple characters, you can use the asterisk. So when we put in LEGIS, we can get legislate, legislative, legislator, legislature. Any word that starts with LEGIS will be filled in with this little asterisk. So when we hit search, we can see there are a lot of bills, over 6,500, that have a word that starts out LEGIS. In that case, you may want to add other words to help narrow down your search parameters. That's a lot of bills to have to look through. Let's try budget with the asterisk. You can see there are 915 budget bills. Maybe we want to know budget bills that say land as well. So when we hit search, you can see that knocks down our criteria, makes less search results. So the more you can tell it what words you're looking for, the more succinct those results are going to be. You can also tell the system to search in specific parts of a bill. So I'm going to erase this in search term, and we're going to head over to zones. So maybe you want to see bills that have an effective date of July 1st, 2024. You can put in the date and then scroll down and hit effective date. Now when you hit search, it'll show you bills that have an effective date of July 1st, 2024. If you want to be more specific in your results, you can specifically tell it to give us session laws. So those are the bills that have passed the legislature and governor's action. Tell us what session laws have an effective date of July 1st, 2024. And that gets us down to 41 bills. You can also look in the captions, citations, dissection, the history, notes, sponsors, text, the SLPL, which is the session law chapter law. And last but not least, we have preferences. So one of the things that we can do is search for the proximity around words. So we're going to tell it that we want to see water and land bills. And when we go over to these preferences, it is going to show us water and land within 5 words of each other. We can change that though to 10 or 30. Show us water and land bills, but only where the word water is within 10 words of the word land. Once we have our proximity in there, we go back to our search terms and hit search. And we have 16 bills that have water and land within 10 words of each other. Let's change that to 5 and see if we get a different result. We do. Only 12 of those 16 bills have water and land within 5 words of each other. So that is your zones, where you can look in the different sections of a bill, and preferences, where you can tell it how close you want the words to be to each other. Last but not least, you can look up exact phrases. So this is really helpful if you know a bill says certain exact words. You may know that emergency bills have the term takes effect immediately. So if you put takes effect immediately in quotations, and you tell it, give us the session laws, and you hit search, it will take you to the 61 session laws that have the emergency clause language takes effect immediately in it. If you click into these and you hit next term, you can see it has the language takes effect immediately. From here, you can go to the next term, previous term, back to list, or if there's more than one result in the results bar, you can skip to the next document or the previous document. This is not just for emergency clause bills. It is for any exact language you are looking for. So provisos often have the language is not enacted by. If you click search, you can see the 8 bills that had the is not enacted by language in them. This is also very handy if you're looking for a bill that was introduced in a previous biennia and you know that bill is introduced in the same language in a new biennia. You can pull out a sentence of that bill, put it in quotes, and search for it. And if the language of that bill was reintroduced with a new bill number in the current biennia, it will show up here. Again, unlike internet search functions, you have to be very specific. You can't ask it questions. How many bills are about kids' lunches? However, you could put in kid and lunch and see where it gets you. Sometimes the words that we think of as being appropriate to a situation are not the same words that the law uses to talk about that. So if you put something in like kid lunch and nothing comes up, you might try different language. How about student meals? There you go. So while we didn't get any search results for kids lunch, student meal gave us 13. So if you're looking for something and the language just isn't giving you what you want, you can try different language, or if you're really confused, you can always call the Legislative Information Center and we can help sort of clarify some of those search terms. We can't help you understand what the bill or law means, but we're usually pretty good at finding it for you. And that is the legislative search function.